Hello, hello. Hopefully, how y'all doing today? Mhm. Share with Shay. Hey, Savannah in the house. Hey, Angels, Fire News. How y'all doing this afternoon? Thanks for joining me on your lunch break. I came to get to the point, and today I may stay a little bit on target of what I'm talking about and not stray off so far. Y'all know how I am. I get to talking about one thing and then we be all in another world after a while. But okay. Um, so I wanted to talk about, is karma really real? I don't know about karma too much, and I didn't read up anything about it. But I hear other people say it, and I hear them say, listen, I have done no research about karma. I haven't even looked up the definition. I'm being honest in saying I've heard other people say the word karma and attached it to what I think that it means. But what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to find out via y'all letting me know if am I talking about karma, or are we talking about the seeds that we plant? I don't know. But let me put my thoughts together, and hopefully y'all can let me know if you all can hear me really well, because I'm now I have this air conditioning here running, so hopefully you all can hear me really well. Alrighty then. So one of the things was, when you're in a relationship or situationship, whatever, it's a relationship. I always say everything is, any relationship you got is like a bank account. You go, if you don't get none put in, you're gonna end up with an insufficient fund if you keep giving everything away. Okay, so um there was a point in my life that I was in a relationship with somebody, and some things was going away, but I was told the truth. So I'm telling you that I was told, I was getting the honest truth of what was, of what this person was about to do, what they wanted to do. I just didn't accept what they were saying they were about to do, right? So I don't the man in this story, this is not somebody who, like, I just want you to put your thoughts on or whatever, because, and not choose a side, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so in this situation, I was dating this guy, but he doesn't like when, I guess, a mother and a daughter are at odds because he's dating me, right? So a part of me is feeling like this is my mom's fault, and because a whole lot of things had gone wrong. She didn't want me with him, but he did treat me really well. So at a certain point in our relationship, he didn't like that he had problems, but eventually him and my mama came together. But it was already, I had already start saying things like, Lord, if he ain't for me, move him out of my life. So, and the opposite of that means they gonna stay if they supposed to stay. So anyways, it got down to the part where, like, we like I ended up being pregnant. And during this time, it's like everything was going wrong. Everything was going wrong because this is about the relationship where I told you um my babies um passed away from this relationship. Um and so he said that he was going to start to go into another relationship. So I just want y'all to understand my accountability in, accepting this. He was going to enter into another relationship, and he did it, but he did talk to me about it before he did it, which of course back then ain't nobody about the respect. Ain't nobody about the respect that, and you as a woman, you're going to um be head over heels or whatever. you know it's according to your situation, how you grew up. I'm talking about my situation right now. So he ended up getting into a relationship with another girl, and me and even this girl have had conversations since then, because like people I know from my past or whatever, if we was at odds the last time like we seen each other or whatever, I'm not finna Facebook friend you and pretend like we ain't have no issues, like I want to work it out. But anyways, this girl was somebody who I knew uh, almost my whole life, basically. But this is the girl who he chose to go with. But the situation is him messing around with her. One day my emotions got so high, I ended up going over to her house. And yeah, in some ways he definitely was wrong, because now that I'm telling this story, um, I had keys to her apartment, and I was looking for him and could not find him. So I went over to her house, and I ain't proud to say it, but it happened. I walked inside her house, looked through her house and everything. And I'm here to tell you, everything on the inside of me knew that I was wrong when I was doing it. Because one of the things my mom did teach me is you don't never go to nobody else's house to confront them about anything. You never do that. And it was in my ear the whole entire time, but whatever was going on with me at that time, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm going over here, I'm looking for him. I ain't getting no phone calls answered. And I went over there and walked through her house. And at the time, I'm 8, 9 months pregnant. She could have did anything to me. Anything. On my way out of that house, I could see in the corner of the door, behind the door, that she had a big old stick. And I seen her reaching for it. And whatever was on the inside of me, because I wasn't one to bother with anybody, but I also felt like because we knew each other almost our whole life, she had to know about me. And the story can go down and down and down and down and down. So I'm gonna leave that story open ended, because I did some really crazy things on that day. Um, not even thinking that I was putting the child at risk that was in my stomach and my own self, point blank, period. And I had other children. So, what I want to fast forward to is I left that situation alone, and it had been, that was back in Gifford, Florida, where I moved from, to Orlando, Florida. I'm here in Orlando, Florida. This is got to be every spit of 20 years later. And there's an incident that happens at the park in our neighborhood. It wasn't the same example, wasn't the same situation, but you know how you can, somebody can tell you a story about something that they doing, and then you can like, dang, I got a story that's close to that right there. You know, it was that type of situation. So there was a situation that happened at the park, and somebody shows up with my kids. They father is home, but they at the park playing. When I come home, um, one of my kids is telling me that one of our neighbors came to the park and cussed them out. So I went in the house and I asked, I found her phone number or whatever, and I called her. And I said my few choice words to her that I wanted to say to her and let her know. I ain't no disrespectful person, but bitch, don't try me about my children. Now, I said what I said and I meant what I said. But I didn't never think that on this day was what I call be careful of the seeds you plant. Is it the same thing as karma? Is karma really real? Because the next thing I know, this girl pulls up to my house. No, she didn't walk inside of my house. But at this moment, I knew, I felt on the inside of me, hey, Miss Coffee, I see you, but I can't say much more to you because you know I get off track. At this moment, I knew that that was the seed that I had planted into the ground, and this is what it grew from. Now, on this day, was the day that I knew that I was being tested from you have to do it different, Shauna. You have to do it different. You are accountable for all of these children. You have to do it different. Now, when I knew that car pulled up out there in that yard, I knew it was the greatest sign of disrespect, but I knew what was coming back to me, the seed that I had planted. Now, I stood my ground, and my sister and them was standing like at the tail end of her van or whatever. And I turned around to them and I said, pipe down. And I'm letting them know, no, I ain't never needed y'all to do none of that. Y'all stay over there. Because remember, I'm accountable for them. But you know, your family is how your family is when you there. But I'm giving them an understanding. I'm not raising my voice or no nothing because I'm not scared of what's standing in front of me. I still mean what I say. But I knew at this point my seed had grown what I planted in the ground. So she came to my house and she asked me, so what it is that you want to do? I said, I'm here and I'm willing to do whatever it is you want to do. You came to my house. Now, whatever it is you want to do, let's go. But everything in me told me, this girl showed up to my house with a muumuu on, the one that buttoned up in the front. And even though I want to, in my mind, I can hear, you accountable for these children, Shauna. You're accountable for them. Make good decisions. Everything in me, because somebody had already, people talk in the neighborhood and they let X, Y, and Z. But I don't deal with a whole lot of people, but you hear people be talking, do a thing. So she's sitting there with her van door open and she talking. And she say, no, you call me and say, I meant everything that I said. I say, you don't talk to my children. I say, if you got anything to say, you come and say it to me as the adult. If you think you coming to cuss one of mine out. No, you say it to me. Now I called you and said what I needed to say. And the conversation went a little like this right here. She was saying that my son put her son in the garbage can out in the park. I asked her, when the last time you went to the park with your children? Before I say, because the park garbage cans had been replaced with a lock. Look at God. So nobody couldn't claim that a kid was put in the garbage can. What my son did was pick her son up and move him over to the bench because he was interrupting a whole basketball game. And he knew it. He was just being annoying because they were definitely friends. I've babysat her son thousands of times. Thousands. Okay. But anyways, you thought to be good because, see, in the neighborhood, I'm not out there arguing with nobody. I'm not out there twerking my ass with the rest of the people or whatever in the neighborhood with my kids. I'm out there focusing, looking, watching everything that my kids do. And when I'm not home, then their daddy is there with them. So I asked her, have you been out there to the park? And she said, no, but she said the next time her son out there doing something, that we should call the police on him. I said, no. I said, it ain't the police job to raise your motherfucking kid. It's your job to do that. So if you just take the time, because we're not talking about no teenagers at this point. This is, he's like 10, 11, he's like 10 or maybe 11. And my son is like 14, 15 at the time. So he just, they play with each other or whatever. But at this time, he understands that this is a game he's interrupting, that they always play. So she keeps encouraging to call the police on her son. So I took the time to tell her about, you need to get up off of your ass and come and check on your own son. And you supposed to keep him out of trouble, not everybody else. And no, I'm not going to be calling no police on somebody who I've helped babysit and everything. I can talk to him and say what I need to say to get him back in line or whatever. But no, I'm not calling no police on him. So anyways, this is crazy at this point that we're even having this conversation. So I see two things happening at one time. I'm getting back the seed that I planted, and I'm giving her a teaching all at the same time. So it ended up going back and forth, but she has never known me to go back and forth with anybody in the neighborhood before, because I mind my own business. In the end of the situation, She said, you must not have heard about me. She said, you better Google me. I said to her, I said, girl, ain't nobody about to Google you. Nobody about to Google you. I say, and what you want me to Google to find out that you been to jail before? That what you want me to say? And crazy me, in the middle of a back and forth, I start whispering to her like Freddy Krueger. You been to jail, girl? Well, guess what? I've been there too. And she just paused and she looked at me. I still ain't bothered by anything. But everything in me, I want to fight. And nobody even understands the pressure that I'm under at this moment. But at this moment, I'm fighting to remain in my children's life because once again, I got somebody standing in front of me that I can pour all of this anger out that I got on the inside of me on. And she don't even know it. The next thing I look up, her brother came running down the street and he was begging her to leave my house. And at that point, when he showed up, the tears had already started rolling out my eyes. And I told y'all before, if it's going to be tears of anger, I don't have no problem. And those who understand know, when you mad, that's when you will allow your tears to flow without no shame and no pain. You let the tears flow because you don't care what those tears mean when you angry. But when you're emotional, you don't want nobody to see you cry those tears because we think those are tears of weakness. And it's not. And the moment her brother showed up and he say, please, just please leave. He begged her. And she said to me, which made me think that she thought that I was scary because I didn't mess with anybody. I didn't say anything to anybody. And I believe people in the neighborhood had been telling her things about me. And see, she owed me some money. And she never paid me my money. I just ain't never say nothing to her. I just never said anything to her. Don't mean I ain't no punk, but see, I know in that area, I knew at the time I had value to me, baby, because there was nobody you could take your kid to that feed your kid the way I feed them, watch them the way that I watch them, and make sure they was all right. Point blank, period. So I knew my value in that area. If you can't pay me what you were supposed to pay me at the time, the agreement that we made, go ahead and keep it because guess what? You gonna need me before I need you. And that's just facts. So right before She crank up her van. She say, I thought you was scary, Shauna, but you kind of just like me. And I looked at her and I told her, girl, I ain't nothing like you. Nothing. And at the same time we passing those words, the one that I believe her was telling, that I believe was telling her things about me, come riding by. Because you know she done got a phone call that says, oh, Shauna and such out here going at it. She gonna ride through so she can see the after effects of what she created. And as she rolled by, I turned my back on the one that thought she pulled up to my house to fight, and then watched the one ride by, eyeball to eyeball, just looking at her. And then I turned my focus back to her, and she cranked her car up and she drove off. And as soon as she got ready to drive off, the river broke. And I cried because God knows what I wanted to do. I cried. But I also got the lesson that came out of that. And so now, let me tell you the next part of the story. So I held on to that and I did what I was supposed to do in that situation. But what do you do when the situation show up face to face with you and you ain't got no smoke for them, but they want to keep coming for you? Because see, I shared that story with y'all already on here about me and my son's girl. Well, she kept approaching me until that day we finally went head to head. And then it kept happening over and over again. I'm been, not me wanting to, but I'm not finna back down. Well, be careful of the seeds you plant because somebody, and not just somebody, and I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm just laughing because I seen it before it even happened. So remember that back a little bit when my son went to jail for Thanksgiving. Well, the charges turned around and turned to her. Even though he did the time, it is what it is. But not only did the seed that got planted, that seed grew. And I'ma just say what goes around comes around. So karma got to really be real. I think I got that right. It's just like the seed that you plant into the ground, right? I don't think I'm confused because, again, I didn't look up. I've never looked up what karma means. I just went by what everybody else declared it as. But the same guy who she called and said to not contact her anymore by my son because she with somebody else is the same one that now has her laid up in a situation. But see, has she kept it between her and my son and not include me in it? See, that was a time when I knew, when I felt like I was a nobody until God started to show me I was somebody and he don't play by me. So I knew that it was coming and I didn't have to do anything at all. And that's why I say to people all the time, when you say you pray for me, if you praying good for me, I am genuinely wishing you tenfold of the prayers that you sent up for me. Genuinely. But guess what? Though I don't believe in evil, if you praying evil for me, that's why I always say, whatever prayers you send up for me, may you receive them back tenfold. Now, I don't know what your prayers is. I don't know them. Because somebody told me before, how do you pray for somebody and you don't know what you need to pray for? I say, oh, that's how it works. So, I don't really need to know what anybody's prayers are for me. But whatever they are, I wish you tenfold. And I hope they're good. I hope they're good. I really do. But I know. See, if I do something wrong, I'm gonna tell you how it worked for me. If I do something wrong, God knows it don't take a long time for me to know that I did something wrong. Cause I'm gonna explain it like somebody told me, a young adult that I was talking to on a car ride one day. She say, sometimes I just want to do bad sometimes, Miss Sherman. And she had me cracking up. I was like, girl, I know how it feels. She said, but then every time I get ready to do something bad, the banana peel is right there on the floor to just make me fall and break my ankle every time. So she had me cracking up because I understood what she said when she was saying that. So when you have those kind of situations, they say he chasing those whom he loves. and there's purpose in you. So I can't have you out here cutting the fool. I gotta have some consequences that are instantaneous. So if you one of those people that you get that instantaneous banana slip, that banana peel situation, see, that's why I say I don't play around with people. I don't bother with people in that way, because I told y'all, when I get to doing stuff wrong, my sleep, anything that I need to do, if I'm being disobedient, whether it's something I'm supposed to say or something I'm supposed to do or something I did wrong, trust me, I know the reason why it's affecting me that way. It's already there, and it's a lot of times I'm pushing it away because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I just want to stay in my little box and do what I want to do. But when there's purpose in your life, you can't be still like that. And people just can't bother you like that. So I don't know who that is for today, but I just gave y'all two examples of, is karma really real? I don't know, but I know what them C's mean, and I'm gonna go and look up the definition of what karma is. What karma is, and then I probably post it on the community wall showing proof that I went and did my homework. But I really have never looked up the definition of karma. And if I did it back when I was probably in the 5th grade or something like that, and don't remember ever looking up the definition of it. But yeah, I gotta go and look that one up. So I don't know who that story was for today. It is absolutely a true story. I don't say the people's names, but you will know who I'm talking about if a hit dog. When you hit the dog, they always holler. So I always tell people, don't know who you are if you ain't up there jumping up and down saying it's me, it's me. So it is what it is. But hey, Miss Coffee, how you doing today? I know that's right. Same energy to you. I know that's right, Savannah. Yes, because some of these people, uh huh. Yep, you just don't even know um who be showing up and what their intentions are or whatever. But no, I'm not just gonna be receiving, because I know there's different kinds of prayers. So you need a coverage. Ask for peace of mind and comfort. Yeah, because some of these people. Mm, a coverage. Ask for peace of mind and comfort when you need. Okay, then I see what you're saying, Miss Coffee. Oh my goodness, that's my child too. It seems, yeah. That when they ain't nothing wrong with having that banana peel effect, and teach them what it's about. You get that instantaneous punishment because there's purpose. There is something that you're supposed to do, and you just ain't gonna be allowed. It's like everything be instantaneous, and there's nothing outside of me that need to happen to me for me to understand. It's like everything is right there already on the inside. I go back and I look at how I live my life, how I did certain things, whatever, and I take accountability for them, and you know move past them, regardless of where my anger came from, how it came from. It, I still can take accountability for the things, regardless of the reason. Hey, J Mac, yeah, I ain't seen you in forever. Karma is an ancient Indian concept of action, work, or deed, and it effect or consequence. Thank you very kindly, J Mac. uh uh well, but I still, I still got to go do my homework and read it and read up on it and everything. But I just, that just can't. Let me see what, I don't know what made me think about oh, that. And one more thing, this what made me think about it, because last night I had a dream. I had a dream last night, and I don't dream that often. But I dreamed that I was standing on my back porch, getting ready to go down the stairs, and that girl that I had to fight with was coming out of my back house. And y'all know what that means. So, um, yeah. Well, I told y'all. Okay, you asked Google. Thank you very much. Thank you. How you been, J Mac? But y'all, that's as far as I'm gonna go into the, and y'all, I don't mind nobody asking no questions about any of the story. I just be liking to get what it is that I'm talking for. I be done went into 500 stories, because there's a whole bunch of stories that could have came out of there, because even there was other people that was standing out there, and the kids be putting a whole nother spin on it and stuff when they be out there or whatever. But it was crazy. It was a whole bunch of stuff going around at the same time. But y'all, we haven't been out in the garden and stuff yesterday nor today, because it's storming. It's been storming here. It rained all night and all day today. And plus, I ain't even finna make no excuse, because today I didn't even feel like getting up. I just feel like laying down today. And I was like, and my friend asked me, she said, "Is you gonna go live today?" I was like, I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like doing nothing. She was like, "Yep, one of those days right there." So I think I'm out here in the shed, and that rain be hitting that tin a different kind of way when it started raining, and the kids still got a little while before they get out of school. So your girl might be on the inside garden sleep. I don't know. But I appreciate you all for joining me over here in the garden. If you got questions while I'm giving my little spiel, then go ahead and ask your questions. But we getting ready to exit the building in just a few seconds. But I just wanted to say that if you are interested in growing, that's what we interested in doing over here. Whether that's growing in the garden, in your real life, growing, point blank period. We do all of that over here. But whatever it is that we growing, we try to tie it to something that we doing in a situation we trying to grow from in our lives over here. And help somebody else learn how to do that all at the same time. And if you are interested in that, then come on over here with Life with Tashana, where life is like a box of chocolate. And on top of that, we are also called the high class gardeners, because even though we be out there in the garden growing stuff and everything, we don't play around with no bugs, no worms, and no snakes out in the garden. Now, Miss Shauna, how is you a gardener and you don't mess with no bugs or worms? That's what clarifies us as a high class gardener, because we get somebody else to go out there and take care of that, because we be trying not to spray all of that crazy stuff on our fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So that's what classifies us as high class gardeners. Y'all hear that rain? Listen to that. It sounds so beautiful. Um, but that classifies us as high class gardeners because we don't play around with those things, and we don't play around with those kinds of people in real life. No snakes, no bugs, no worms. It, that's just it. Um, but we believe in growing over here, and so we talk about all different kinds of things. J Max says, "I'm hanging in there. I've been here all the time, but not saying much, just listening and observing." Oh, okay then. All right then. Well, I'm glad you poked your head in and said hey today. Then good to see you. I seen you on the up under one of the comments or whatever, and I was like, J Max. So but if that is all, we going to get on out of here today. And if you don't mind hitting the like button and share with somebody who you may think is going through some of these types of situations or whatever, share with them. Sharing is caring. But y'all have an amazing day and keep on growing. See y'all the next time.